commercial fisherman, Todd and I. Todd just got off the Bristol Bay fishing grounds, and Todd says he reminds me all the time as he's watching the schools of fish and coming in and out. He said, only dead fish go with the flow. We saw how the permanent political class in D.C. tried to co-opt this new class of leaders in Washington and suck them into the status quo. I swear, status quo must be Latin for the mess we're in. See, the reality is we are governed by a permanent political class, and we're in a battle to change that. We must change that. For America's solvency and for our sovereignty, we must change that. And 2010 was just a step in that long march towards the real reform that we need. Texas, will you keep fighting? Will you keep working for that? The class won't go quietly, though. Politicians from both sides of the aisle, they failed us because they've spent us into this mind-boggling debt, and they've abandoned the Constitution too often. And sure, they take that oath, right, to defend the Constitution, and yet then they ignore it when it gets in the way of just doing that business as usual in Washington. For instance, when the left crams down that mother of all unfunded mandates, that death panel-filled Orwellian nonsense called Obamacare, when they rammed that down their throat and ignored the Constitution. Or when they skirt their constitutional responsibility to even pass a budget. We're going on 4 years now without a federal budget, and they think they get to just ignore the Constitution in that case. Politicians, too, they talk about cutting spending, yet they keep spending more. They talk about our massive, unsustainable debt, yet they keep incurring more. They spend, they print, they borrow, they spend more, and then they stick us with the bill.
That's right.
But in this come to Jesus moment that we're having, this come to Jesus discussion, there's good news. There is good news, and that is there is nothing wrong with America that a good old-fashioned fair election can't fix. To restore America's promise. We must elect leaders with courage, selfless, those with servants' hearts, willing to take a stand and fight against the big government cheerleaders. And that's why Todd and I are here today in Texas, proudly standing with Ted